Well, boys and girls, it's that time of year again. We're almost hitting season 4 of Game of Thrones. I can't believe it's already going to be season 4. Super pumped about this new season. Really looking forward to it. But before we do, let's review the fan favorite characters from seasons 1, 2, and 3. Just to summarize where we've got to this point, or how we got to this point, shall I say, I've made, this is the third or fourth, this is the fourth top 10 in the series. We started off after season 2. I made my personal favorite from seasons 1, 2, and 4, from 1 and 2. And then based on the comments of that video, I made a fans top 10 from seasons 1 and 2, which you can see in these annotations here. There'll be 6 of them by the time we hit almost season 5 time. But for now, at the time of this video going up, there's only going to be 4 of them, because I won't have made them, because season 4 won't have been completed at this point, basically. So moving on, after season 3, I made my personal top 10 from seasons 1, 2, and 3. You are now watching the comments based off of that video, which is the fans season 1, 2, and 3 top 10. And then so coming after season 4, I'll make my own personal top 10 based on seasons 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Just like, you know, you get the point. And then based on the comments in that video, we will have, I'll post another video almost going into season 5 like we are now, basically a year from this video going up, in which I will make the fans season 1, 2, 3, and 4 favorite characters. And we're starting to get, like, we're starting to see some rises and falls over seasons, which is very exciting, and we're starting to see, you know, how that plays out, and we're also starting to see who is the most loved characters over time in the Game of Thrones lore. Let's continue. Let's go back. Seasons 1 and 2 favorites before we go into seasons 1, 2, and 3, so you can see the changes. At the end of season 2, 10th place, the fans said the Hound. The Hound obviously finished off season 2 basically with Blackwater and talking to Sansa. Not really sure where it's going to go from there. He really jumped up, I think, in late season 2 into a prominent spot. I wish we had just season 1 top 10. We didn't do it for them, so we'll have to just go from seasons 1 and 2. Number 9, Daenerys Targaryen. Really not very high on this list, considering, really based on her screen time, she's probably in the top 3 or so, or 4 people. But many people, including myself, didn't really like the whole Karth thing. For some reason, whether it was the directing, like the actual cinematography and stuff, and the character, or it just wasn't, like, it wasn't good in the books. I'm not sure, I never read the books. Number 8, Bronn of Blackwater. Obviously, this is him at Blackwater saving the day. Definitely became a very likable character towards the end of season 2, and that's why he's on this list. Kind of surprising, he doesn't have very much screen time again, but he really, you can really give a lot of props to his actor and the writing of the scripts, because he has one of the best scripts on the show, in my opinion. So great to see him talk with Tyrion all the time, too. Number 7, Tyrion Lannister. No, sorry, Tywin Lannister. What a terrible mistake. Tywin Lannister. This is him after the Blackwater Bay invasion. Surprising. I'm always surprised to see him on the list, because he's painted as, I wouldn't say a bad person, but he's certainly, in the first 2 seasons, the enemy of the Starks to a somewhat of a degree. So I'm a little surprised to see him on these lists all the time, but it just shows you the depth of these characters and how wide and diverse the universe is, that you could like, and that the fans could enjoy seemingly an antagonist to a certain extent this much. Moving along. Number 6, Jaime Lannister. Also very surprising. When we saw him in season 6, he was freed by Catelyn, and he was run away with Brienne of Tarth. So, very interesting to see what's going to happen with him coming up in the season 3 rankings. Stay tuned. Will he move up? Will he move down? Time will tell. And number 5, Robb Stark. Robb Stark, I'm trying very hard not to say anything about season 3 when I'm talking about this, but Robb Stark had a very strong season 2, you could say. 3 victories don't make us a conqueror. I think that might have been season 1, actually. But anyway, he was very prominent, and really had a strong season, shall we say. So no surprise to see him 5th overall, especially because in a lot of ways he was replacing Ned Stark at this time. Speaking of Ned Stark, number 4 by the fans, they say Ned Stark. Great to see the fan base recognizing a character even though he's died. And so in this case, it's Ned Stark. Even though he died off at the end of Season 1, people are still voting him as the 4th best overall character. And it would have been really nice to see Season 1 top 10 for the fans, because maybe we would have had Ned as number 1, or maybe 4. You never know, but I think he'd be number 1. Quite possibly 1 or 2. Number 3, I believe it's Arya Stark. I'm not sure why I took this picture. This picture probably shouldn't be in here. But anyway, it's Arya Stark, and we last saw her with Valu Morghulis, and she was she had a very interesting Season 2. Probably the best thing she did in Season 2 was her whole thing with Tywin Lannister. That was probably the most interesting, and obviously with the God of Death was very interesting as well. Actually, this wasn't the God of Death. This was Jaqen H'ghar, he does pretty well in some of the polling. Number 2, Jon Snow. Jon Snow. Yeah, he had a much better Season 2 than Season 1, I would say. And the thing that vaulted him, I think, was obviously this climactic killing of his mentor in a lot of ways, and his whole dialogues with Ygritte, I think, were beautiful. I thought they were great, and I thought they really rounded out the challenges he had and the greater political battle between whose right it is to be on either side of the wall and who was there first and all those things. Number 1, following Seasons 1 and 2, was Tyrion Lannister. We last saw Tyrion after Season 2 in this situation where he's being comforted by Shay, the Funny Whore, who is giving him, really just encouraging him. And this is one of my favorite scenes in the entire show, even to date through Season 3. Just a really touching moment with Tyrion after rallying the troops at Blackwater Bay and everything that he did. So props to him. Congratulations to Tyrion. He is the defending champion. We'll see if he can get knocked off in the Seasons 1, 2, and 3 fan favorite list. So just before we go any further, I just want to say thank you for the overwhelming support for the Seasons 1, 2, and 3 fan list. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to link to a Google document right here on the screen, maybe probably below in the description. I'll probably put, previously you saw the 4 to 6 other videos that I've made for this top 10 series. They'll probably be in the description as well. But if you click on this right now, you can check out how everyone rated their top 10, like who they put on their list, and it's scored by points. So basically, if you said, for example, Jaqen H'ghar was my favorite character, I would give Jaqen H'ghar 10 points. If you said that Ygritte was your 10th favorite, did I mess that up? Jaqen H'ghar. If you said Jaqen H'ghar was your favorite character, I would give him 10 points. If you said Ygritte was your 10th favorite character, you'd get 1 point, and it scales all the way up. So there you can see it. The green boxes are the first place vote for each person, which gets each character 10 points. As of making this video, we're still trying to get everything in there. We don't want to leave anyone out, but as of the time I made this video, we've got, I think, 49, almost 50. No, we've got 50 now entries, which is unbelievable. I didn't think I would ever get 50 submissions for fan top 10s. So that means we've got a really diverse, really statistic, and we can really accurately say that this is the fans' top 10 favorite from Seasons 1, 2, and 3. So there was, and there's also 50 different characters voted in. So 50 different voters, 50 different characters were voted for. Thank you for the amazing support, and let's do it again for Seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. So remember, comment below with your top 10s. Just make sure that they are actually characters that have appeared in the show. I can include, for example, going into after Seasons 1, 2, and 3, a couple people voted for the Red Viper, who hasn't been in the show through seasons 1, 2, and 3, so I couldn't include their list in this list for this video. So just make sure they've been in the show, and so comment below with your top 10s. Make sure you give me, the ordering, like number 1 is this, number 10 is this, and so that way I can actually include your list instead of having to guess who's your top 10. Otherwise, it's confusing. But thank you so much, and here's a nice little snippet of some house logos. And also, without further ado, this time for reals, without further ado, let's get in the top 10. Well, the race for 10th place was absolutely down to the wire. We had submissions coming in the last week that shuffled things around, and here's where it'll finally lay down from seasons 1, 2, and 3. Honorable mentions. 13th place, last season he was 11th, Stannis Baratheon, scoring 80 points. I personally like Stannis a lot, and I know obviously quite a few people do. This probably wasn't his best season. I think probably next season, though I don't know what's going to happen with the story, I expect he probably will jump back in the top 10. But you never know. I think this season was a little bit too mopey and a little bit too... he was kind of evil in some ways, in that Melisandre was really pushing him to abandon all his morals to get the throne, basically. Almost like a Peter Baelish type thing would do. So I think that probably drives some viewers away, but definitely a very interesting character and a very complicated character. And I really like watching Stannis. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in this next season. Moving on. Tied for 11th. We had a tie for 11th. And due to the tiebreaker... Well, I should say this. We actually had a tie from 10, 11, and 12. The 10 spot was won by tiebreaker. The 11th and 12th spot couldn't be broken by tiebreaker. They had the equal number. Lord Varys here, who you see now, he had an equal number of first place votes and total percentage of votes of the voters. Like, the people who voted for him was the same as the other person who came 11th. So Lord Varys, 81 points. Last season he was 12th, so he's right about the same spot he was last time. He's getting more and more screen time, which I really like. I'm very excited to have him close to the top 10. I wish he would get in the top 10 because I really like watching him, and especially him with talking to the other bigs like Peter Baelish and Lady Olenna. Those are the best scenes, and obviously him on the Small Council is great. All the funny faces he makes with Joffrey and Lord Baelish are just awesome, and the way he stands there. And I mean, we all love Lord Varys, except for the people who don't. So tied with him, dead tied, couldn't break it, was Sir Davos Seaworth. What a huge jump this guy had. Last season he was ranked 29th. Now he's up to 11th. He jumped 18 spots. Dead tied with 81 points with Lord Varys. Also had I'm kind of surprised to see him this high, personally. He's a very Ned Stark-like character in his loyalties and his morality, but he didn't get that much screen time, which is very telling that the fans want to see more of this guy, which I would love to see more of Sir Davos. But we haven't seen that much of him, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. He had some great scenes with Gendry, great scenes with Stannis, and great scenes with Melisandre. He had a good season. It's just... Especially, it's great to see a guy with such high morals not abandon them in the face of his friends and overwhelming pressure from Stannis and Melisandre to abandon his morals. But he's been holding strong, so good for him. And we'll see what happens in Season 4. I'm very much looking forward for all these characters, pretty much, to see what happens. Let's move on to see who actually got in the top 10 now. 10th place with 81 points as well. Remember, he tied with Lord Varys and Sir Davos. But he won based on having more first place votes and a higher percentage of people voting for him. Barely. The other two basically had people put them lower in their they got voted for with fewer points or something. I don't know. You could look at the chart and break down the stats for me. So Robb Stark jumps in here in his last gasp. Last season he was 5th. This season he is 10th. Congrats to him. He had a bit of a bad season, shall we say. It started off great. Well, actually, no, it didn't start off great. It had some moments, though. Obviously, the war wasn't going that well, and he blew it with the Karstarks in some regards. He probably should not have killed Lord Karstark. That was probably not a very good idea. Especially the way he did it was what bothered me, in that he did it out of rage and fury, which is not the Ned Stark way, and that really was the beginning of the end. Although the beginning of the end was really when he didn't marry Walder for his daughter. So he had some great scenes with Talisa though, and how they were talking about going to see. Oh shoot, is she from Volantis? I can't remember now. But anyway, they're gonna go see their parents, and great talk. And then naming the kid Ned Stark Jr. Like, I don't think we'll see Robb Stark on the next top 10 because obviously he's dead, and that'll probably make room for some other people to slide up in there. So it's too bad because I really enjoyed watching him. He was kind of like the last legacy of the Starks, of Stark power, and that's completely gone now. Moving on, let's get into number 9. Number 9, last place, he was 10th. This place, he's 9th, moving up 1 spot. Sandor Clegane, the Hound. Again, I'm personally very surprised to see the Hound on this list. The Hound's not really close to being in the top 10 in my personal opinion, but that's why we do these lists, to see how your personal list compares with everyone else's list. And Sandor Clegane is he's an interesting character. He's definitely a character I probably am not paying enough attention to, in that I'm not really trying to understand like why he's doing these things, or like why he's so, like what are his motivations. I guess I just don't understand where his loyalties lie, and I don't think they really lie anywhere, which is interesting because he's helping Arya Stark so much. Definitely very excited to see what happens with Arya and the Hound next season. I have no idea where they're going to go. It's going to be very interesting. I could see the Hound dying. But I have no information about that. Let's move on to number 8. Congratulations to the Hound on making it this high on the list. I had no idea he was going to be in the top 10, but he made it. Speaking of surprises, I would say 8th place with 102 points. So he's basically, I think it's 21 points ahead of 10th place. Last season he was 16th place. He jumped up a full 8 spots to get into where he is now. So congrats to Lord Baelish. I'm still very surprised that he is this high. As I was building the list, you know, I get to see, as I'm inputting the numbers, I see people rising and falling and dropping off. And Baelish sat in here for a while. He was in the 11th and so, but then near the end he started bumping up and got himself quite a hefty lead on 9th and 10th, and now here he is. So he's solidly in 8th place, and which is very surprising to me, because if you think about seasons 1 and 2, he would not have been a top 10. No way. He betrayed Ned Stark in season 1, which Ned Stark was the far gone favorite, I would assume, from season 1. And then he was very sleazy with Catelyn Stark, and now he was trying to be sleazy with Sansa this season too, in some ways, try to help her, quote, air quotes there. But I love Peter Baelish. I'm just surprised this many other people like Lord Baelish, and I'm surprised they like him more than Lord Varys, which is awesome. I really like that. But just to see such a slimy, smooth, just a disgusting man like him, who I love to watch, and maybe that's why he got voted so high, is because he's so much fun to watch. And the way he killed Ross and the climb speech was my favorite scene of the season. Fantastic. So congratulations to Lord Baelish. Littlefinger, as he's called. Number 7, 129 spots. Last season he was ranked 4th. Following last season he was ranked 4th. Now he's ranked 7th, so he's starting to lose some momentum, seeing how he hasn't been in the show since season 1. But I'm still glad people are still giving him the credit that he deserves. He's in 7th place through 3 seasons, 2 of which he's not even alive for. But obviously he's had lasting impacts on the rest of the show. It's hard to talk about Ned Stark because there isn't anything new to say about him. Like, he died so long ago. But I think that his legacy in the show, after season 1, it was like a big watershed moment. Like, there's no going back from this. But now looking back on the whole thing in totality, he will be remembered in the histories of Game of Thrones just as being the kind of the beginning of it all. This is where it all really started, with the death of Ned Stark, and he'll always be remembered as, I'm not gonna say the face of the franchise because the franchise doesn't have a real face, but as far as like the beginning story of this world is, it's Ned Stark, and I'm very thankful for the people putting him on the list. He very much deserves it. As frustrating as he was to watch at times because he didn't know how to play the game, that just made him so much more likable, and you just want to give him a big hug and say, Ned Stark, you probably should listen to anyone else but yourself right now, and don't tell Cersei everything you know. So congratulations to Ned Stark, 7th place, 129 points. Again, another surprise. I would never have thought that Tywin Lannister would be ahead of Ned Stark, but here he is. Last time he was 7th, this time he's 6th. He's moving up, makes sense. Great leader, great statistician. Not a good father, but it's his, well, not a good father in terms of dealing with the whims and wishes of his children. Good father in that he's interested in keeping his family line strong, which, how could you blame him? So, I don't really know what to say about Tywin. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him interact next season with, I mean, there's a lot of people for him to interact with, but specifically I want to see him interact with Joffrey, which we got a bit of a glimpse of near the end of the season, putting him in this place, and obviously Tyrion and Cersei, and I want to see him interact with Jaime. That's going to be a new storyline as that opens up, I would presume. So, looking forward to seeing what he has to give. He's such a boss. Really, really good character. Unlike the Hound, you know what his motivations are, and that's why I think people like him this much. He's a good guy. A dangerous man to some extent, considering he organized the Red Wedding. But I do like some Tywin Lannister in my Game of Thrones. 5th place. Last season she was ranked 9th. This season she's ranked 4th. Daenerys Targaryen. Personally, not much of a surprise. The surprise was that she was ranked 9th last season. She had a really bad season too. Not like really bad compared to other TV shows, but like compared to the other characters in the show, her season 2 was pretty, bleh, it was pretty like, more Karth. This Karth thing is getting really, it's dragging, and it's, she's just being needy and wanty, so. But now, season 3, they didn't waste any time. They went to Astapor, they went to the Free Cities, cleaned it up. I was going to say raped and pillaged, but she's completely against raping and pillaging. So, instead, they just basically had a standoff at Misa, and then that was that. Dragons are looking more cool. She's got a great secondary cast. Grey Worm. My names are really slipping here. I can't remember all the names of the characters for some reason. Anyway, Barristan Selmy and Jorah Mormont. And the Second Sons guy. Daryl Naharis. So that's quite the supporting cast. She's got a great infrastructure going forward. She's got the army, she's got the people, she's got the dragons, she's got the support crew. I don't know where she's going to go. Personally, I think she should not go invade Westeros because she could conquer all of Essos and be perfectly fine and do a lot of help there. But instead, I guess she wants to be queen of Westeros. Whoop-de-doo. Everyone wants to be king and queen. I think it's kind of a bad idea, but we'll see what happens. Number 4, Jaime Lannister. Last season he was 6th, this time he's 4th with 215 points. As you can see, the points are starting to increase here. So, Jaime Lannister. What a season he had. I forget how it started, but he got his hand cut off pretty early. I think it was like episode 3 or 4. And his whole interaction with Brienne of Tarth was great. How she was like motivating him to like not give up on himself. She didn't say it quite as nice as that. But then this scene right here in the bathtub, in my opinion, was one of the top 5 scenes of the season. Give him an Emmy already, or a Grammy, or whatever. Give him a Game of Thrones, or whatever you want to give him. This scene was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. And then when he went back to, and then there was the whole Bear and the Maiden Fair scene. And then at the end of the season, obviously he meets his lover and sister, Cersei, which was a very emotional moment for the two of them, and for me too. I was choking up during that, as I've mentioned in previous videos. Just the magnitude of that moment, seeing Cersei, Jaime's the only one who she can really communicate to anymore. She's kind of communicating with Tyrion, but they really don't like each other. And so now she's finally got someone in King's Landing she can, I don't want to say manipulate, but that's what she does, or control. And for Jaime, he no longer has his sword hand, but does he still have his sister? And they didn't really answer that at the end of season 3 regarding, like, are they going to do it again? And I really don't think they're going to have sex again. I really don't think so. I think that's been played out, and they've come too far, these two characters. To return to that would be, I would say it's more immoral to do it now than it was before. I don't know why, but for some reason it seems like they've come too far to go back to that. But you never know. You never know. I don't think they'll have sex again. But maybe it'll be implied. Who knows? So, what a fantastic character. You gotta love Jaime's character arc. I think it's one of the best arcs in the show. I really want to see what he does in King's Landing without his sword hand. I mean, the sky's the limit. He could go anywhere from here. So let's just watch season 4 and enjoy Jaime. Number 3. Last season he was number 2. This season he's number 3 with 229 points. Jon Snow, the bastard. I personally don't like Jon Snow because he betrayed his vows twice. He betrayed the Watch by sleeping with Ygritte, and now he betrays Ygritte in abandoning her. He could have very easily brought Ygritte back to Castle Black with her and been like, "This girl's a wildling, but she's good," and taken her in like she had taken him in and kept him alive. Like, he frustrates me, but nevertheless, people like him. I think a lot of girls like him because he's good looking. I mean, props to him. I don't really mind him that much. I just wish he didn't betray Ygritte, because to me Ygritte was really cool, and the two of them, their banter was awesome, and I think she deserves better than this, and he has less honor than I would like him to have, unfortunately. And this whole shot where he's up by the little pond there, and she shoots him 3 times with the arrows, he probably should have died from that, especially when he fell off on his horse and landed on his back with the arrows in it. Those would have like torn into his back, maybe nicked his vertebrae. Anyway, congrats to Jon Snow for being in the top 3. That's a pretty big feat. I just wish he didn't betray Ygritte. That's my only complaint. Number 2, last season was number 3, so she flipped with Jon Snow, Arya Stark. This is, I think this is episode 10 where she, yeah, this is after the Red Wedding, and she goes around and she kills 1 or 2 people. I can't remember what. I want to go back and watch that scene actually because there's, I want to see, because remember when Melisandre says that she sees the eyes of people that she'll kill? She sees, like, I forget which color she says, like blue and brown-eyed people that she'll kill. I want to see if any of those people were blue or brown. So, Arya Stark. If you thought she was depressed after season 2, she is going to be, well, much like Sansa, she's been going through just waves of grief ever since she began. Really, I mean, end of season 1, she loses Ned Stark. End of season 2, can't remember what happened at the end of season 2 for her. I don't quite remember. And then end of season 3, obviously she loses her family. So I have no idea what's going to happen with her regarding her future. It's going to be crazy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her with the Hound. I would like to see her back with Genji, but that's not going to happen. And I want to see, this is somewhat unrelated to her, but maybe some more Thoros of Myr and their storyline and the Brotherhood without banners. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Arya. She was, when I was doing the toweling and moving people up and down, entering the list, she was always at the top 1 or 2 or 3. So, very strong in this position. And congratulations, Arya. We're looking forward to watching you in Season 4. I know you won't let us down. I hope you don't. And, first place. Last season he was first place. He's first place again. He is becoming, I said it before, there wasn't a face of the franchise, but he's very much becoming a strong contender to become the face of the franchise. Tyrion Lannister. Fantastic character. Fantastic character. When we left him in after season 2, he had got the big slash on his face, and he was being consoled by Shay. Now Shay is almost not in his life, and Sansa is his wife now, which is redonkulous. But I like it, and I really wish that Sansa would give Tyrion more respect or more appreciation or love than what she's given him, because Tyrion is the one person in the city who genuinely, I shouldn't say the one, but he's one of the ones that you could actually trust. He's not a backstabber unless he was maybe to portray someone who really deserved it, like maybe Peter Baelish or something, or his father. So Tyrion, I mean, there's so many things to say about this guy. Fascinating character, absolutely fascinating, and I think we all enjoy watching him. He had, actually I should have mentioned before, Daenerys Targaryen actually had the highest number of first place votes, but I think if you go look at that spreadsheet, I think it was something like 85% of people voted for Tyrion in their top 10. So overwhelming support across the 50 plus voters that we had in this little contest. So congrats to Tyrion, fantastic. 331 points, so he beat Arya by, I think it was 60 or 70 points. Ran away with it. Really looking forward to Season 4. Season 4 poster, All Men Must Die, starting April 6th at 9 p.m. Looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all your comments, all your feedback, all your lists. It made for a very interesting Game of Thrones off-season. Reminder, I'll be putting out my personal top 10 from seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 following this season. Put your comments in that video, and we'll make a new top 10, fan top 10 for seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you guys are probably starting to get into the rhythm in the system. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Game of Thrones Season 4 coming up very soon. Enjoy it, and have a good one. Thanks for watching.